We're having a Secret Santa at the end of the year.
I'm a project manager and development manager. These half of the time direct management of people who develop Blender, and part-time is dedicated to projects.
So she's like coordinating development projects. She's sort of overseeing them, making sure that people are assigned to them.
She has to juggle between a lot of different stakeholders' expectations and make sure the team performs. She also has to take care of them, of their well-being.
A lot of things that I do, they rely on building a relationship with people. I open up more, I try to make more jokes, I try to make fun and games, for example, and entertainment for others.
It's also so important to the team at that scale to have someone they can reach out to, both from personal topics to anything.
So she's basically making sure that we as developers can do the job that we're supposed to be doing.
We never really had like someone who catches up with all the teams and works like more closely. It was always kind of like, hey, can you work on this thing, and we hope that things go well.
So we have notes, there is no concrete design, and there's a project that needs to be finished already.
You mean hair?
The hair, yes. So what are we even talking about?
We met with her and Sergey, the three of us first. She just asked the right questions.
From talking to all the people, it's like, okay, so she knows where attention is needed.
She started off as a developer herself and then took on responsibilities as a manager. So that already was like, oh, she already has that title and she has shown and she has the interest in the technical aspects.
Okay. Hacking.
The hacking is done.
So it's very good we have a testing moment, right? So early feedback moment. I think it's gonna be iteration of several repetitions. So you have a checkpoint, you have corrections, you come back to checkpoint, you have corrections. So it happens a few times. First it was empty, now with time passing I brought a bit more personal items with me. This is a box of anti-stress toys. I am caring for well-being and distress of my developers. This is handmade, strong female characters. So we have Padme and Vi. Over time I also brought a bunch of books. While you browse through it, you can see a ton of absolutely different styles. She's there hunting. A couple of also handmade stuff. I think it's not that much about decoration, but maybe more about feeling more positive and comfortable. It's cheering me up. I propose to everyone who works on Blender to take a test that measures what you're naturally good at, so your strong sides.
So I was doing these cooperative personality tests.
You can also then use that information to figure out what kind of things are you naturally strong at.
These strengths can be used at everyday work. As development coordinator, I have to do a lot with people, and I should also be a good example, I guess. So that was part of the reasons why I said, come on, I cannot back out of this. I should be a good example and do the test, of course.
So according to this personality corporate test, my 5 strengths are:
I'm apparently a learner. You enjoy thinking about the past. You understand the present by researching its history.
Apparently I'm a good arranger.
I'm a learner. You have a great desire to learn.
Relator, building deep relationship.
Ideation.
Ideation, you're fascinated by ideas, you see connections that others don't.
Strategic, you create alternative ways to proceed.
Empathy.
Empathy. You can sense other people's feelings by imagining yourself in their lives or situations.
Intellection is also one of them, so it means I'm attracted to solve puzzles.
Achiever, you work hard and possess a great deal of stamina.
Values such as honesty and loyalty.
I'm a relator. I'm a learner, I have empathy, I'm an achiever, and I have belief.
So the assessment that we all took is aimed to understand the areas where you have greatest potential. It looks at your recurrent patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior. Your top 5 talents are your key drivers. And what I like to do is that to go from person to person, and you can talk about your traits. I can start, for example, for myself. A lot of importance is for me into one-to-one relationship with people. Like everything builds from there. Where I might be worried, please, if you observe that I am too much interfering, controlling, you know where it's coming from, you can safely say to me.
Do you also recognize you could take on too much?
Yeah, I could. I'm working on that always, thinking, like, should I do that? But yeah, that could be a thing. So these things I will put on the wall, and then we will have that as a collection for all of us.
Photography stuck with me for a long time. It can be conceptual when I try to show the idea, for example, that people should not be judged to be binary, either one or another. But how do I show it in a picture? Photography becomes the medium where a lot of other things I can bring up into it. Work with colors, or maybe some craft that I made is becoming an object in the photo. I already noticed for a long time that if I am making a photo, I try to put something into it. Like, what's happening? Why is this person here? What are they doing? What's their mood? It's a very good match with my values over here, right? That people can be themselves, right? We see that people are accepted as they are at this workplace, and people can work on what they value, and they make their own decisions, right? They have freedom, they open up more, and they have more motivation and energy and excitement. And then you just connect to that excitement and work with it.
It's the pen holder. It's my favorite. I really like it. It's like you have a ghost as a servant.
If somebody asks me about like what does hair do when you stretch it, bend it, then I can take this thing and actually point at it. It's kind of nice to have a physical object that you can explain things on. When you have curly hair, it also bends in a very similar way. Being a developer means you have your very own kind of art style.
We do make a mess of things. I'm not sure if that's good. Some of the math you have to implement, some of the stuff you have to do, there's a real elegance to doing it right.
I like to do everything that's related to something creative. Many developers are secretly artists.
This is indeed a Bob Ross. I did this as a part of a workshop. Is it art? I'll leave it up to somebody else. Do I appreciate what I made and the fact that I was able to make it? Yes.
This is a random collage. Natalie, Vivi, and me once did an art session together. We fetched like random stuff from magazine. This I made myself, made of clay. This is supposed to be the mother and the child. They are from the artist Sue.
This is a whale. It's just a little bit of cardboard glued together. I try to get into crafting a little bit more, but you know.
This is like cat from Rain World.
This is a beautiful puzzle, which came in a box of 9,000 pieces as a puzzle. If you want to find a piece, go over tray by tray by tray. More than 100 hours, more than 200 hours. Actually, I had this on my wall in my old apartment, but they moved. And in the new apartment, there was no room for this. So I managed to bring it over here and still maintain the whole thing.
From good old days, it's called bug-a-meter. It goes to check the bug tracker for the number of open bugs and display a number of open bugs on the Nixie tubes. You know, from the amount of digits, we can say how far in the past it was, because now we don't fit in the 3 digits. I don't even know if you fit in the 4 digit nowadays. That I built.
Sometimes I point a camera at people. Open the window a little bit, and then you have this nice, soft
side light coming in. Julian, after creating a Rubik's Cube.
This? It's a Rubik's Cube. Well, 2x2 Rubik's Cube.
So when I'm stuck on a geometry problem or two, I just doodle. I go through about one of these a year.
So we have regression tests to ensure that when we change code, it looks the same before and after, so that we are sure that we don't break things. This is the first test thing I made. This is to test light textures. So we have a point light here. This is a point light. And this is, I think, an area light. This is a sunlight. The other one was for testing light texture, and this is for testing all different light types in a volume. When I was implementing light tree, I want to make sure that they all work correctly, and this was the testing I created. The spotlight is just a wave texture. This is a maple leaf, and to create the texture you just need one principled BSDF with a thin wall, and you tweak the parameters. Without thin wall mode you would need to combine a lot of nodes, but right now you just need this and some textures. I modeled this dark by myself. I have no idea of modeling, and I'm not a good Blender user, so I had to search for a tutorial online.
I am editing our planning tool, so this is what I introduced. There is no central place and central picture like all the projects. Whenever I'm having a meeting and learn something, pieces of information, I go here and I put it into one place. So then it's easier for me, it's easier for other managers.
Communication is a pretty clear thing for me. When you have to talk with people about not meeting expectations or having a performance that's not so great, when I see, okay, we are nearing the end of the meeting, I'm like, oh, by the way, don't feel too bad about it. We're still happy with you.
Blender has been a part of half of my life. I always wanted to have technical challenges, but also communicating or working with people, having some sort of creativity in it as well. And that's really what brings and sticks me to Blender, because I think it's all of those things together combined, and that's what I really enjoy.
People always need to keep in mind that we communicate in a good faith and whatnot, and we all have some own agendas and stuff.
If you have these second thoughts where you're worried about how things went, you're always welcome to chat with me, just to, okay, this happened, yeah, just maybe to give a bit of a reassurance.
Being remote, we don't see a lot of that side from you, and I think it's a shame.
Yeah, we don't have a chance to talk to you over lunch, right? About what happened recently.
Yeah, I would say that's the biggest challenge when working remote. So it's like not having the direct interaction possibilities with people and not hearing everything right away. But also, of course, at times it feels a little bit lonely. I would say that you don't have your colleagues day to day. You're just, you open your computer at the beginning of the day. You are in the chat. You have some meetings, video calls, but yeah, you're not having the direct interaction with people. I also have to do with a lot of remote people and the people in the community, of course. So I think it's important to be in the same position in order to understand what the community, what the online people need. Because when you're here, you might not face the same challenges as if you are remote. And so I think that's important to hear and live that part of the project as well.
Let me see. Like this. My favorite is, I think this one. There's a lot going on, and it's a feeling of looking into somebody's studio. I think it's also super nice to be able to have a printed version. It gives you a very different feel than a digital thing. The good part of this test is also it doesn't try to put people in boxes, like, okay, you are like that. It's more intricate.
The more people you have, the more interactions and relationships and people issues there are.
If I need help in strategical thinking, I can go to this person. If I need help with meeting new people, I can go to this person because very naturally strong at this.
It was very interesting to share those things and also to see where we're having gaps.
We are building relationships, right? And maybe it's like reaching out to a group that is harder.
To have all of this in mind and still make it actionable and that it can be handled by the team. And I think that's what's very interesting because you need someone who's dedicated to that.
That blue overload might be saying about Blender as an organization that is like very personal driven, right? So there's a lot of personal relation. So we need more power into how do we excite more people? How do we get people support Blender? I'm happy that it happened. Even Sergey jumped in to listen, although he is not believing in this. So that's nice of him.